Hey, welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today on our studio talk, I wanted to talk a little bit about the farm animal series that I've been working on here lately, the festival that I did in Eufaula last weekend, and some of the ways that I am trying some new things and pushing outside of my boundaries. So first up, I did want to talk about the farm animal series. And this is something that's completely new, and I was not working on this at all until probably here the last, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks. And it's something that happened mostly by accident. I had spent the entire day in the studio one day, and it was kind of wearing on me the way that I work so realistically, and all of the work is so detailed and requires a lot of concentration and a lot of patience. And I just wanted something fun. I wanted something that was playful. I wanted something with no rules. I wanted something that was very different from my typical body of work. So the goal was to first off sketch with no initial like tracing. It was just going to be me hand drawing, which is not really my thing. I don't draw, at least not well. It's not a skill that I've refined over the last few years because it's not something that I necessarily love doing, but I do think it's a really good skill. So I wanted to play with, could I build that confidence of, let me just put it on there. I can fix it if I don't like it. It's not a big deal. That was part of the whole idea. It needs to be not a big deal, easy, and like a brain disconnect, not something I'm overthinking constantly the way I do with a lot of my work. So that was kind of my first really like goal that I had for myself with the piece. Secondly, I wanted to make sure it stayed super loose. I wanted brush strokes. I wanted to have the maker's mark on it. I wanted you to know it was a painting and not a photo. I didn't want any kind of photorealism. I just wanted it to be something that flowed. And the last thing that I wanted to do with the piece was to play with color a little bit. I usually try to put what I think I see as the colors, which I mean any artist does, but this time I wanted to be more playful, push the boundaries a lot more, really play with the idea of warm highlights and cool shadows, and that those would be very emphasized. So my first piece out of the series was this little duck that I did, and it's this little lady right here. And this is like genuinely probably one of my favorite pieces in the series. I thought it was super fun to work on. It accomplished everything that I had set out for that session, and it came together really easily. So in that sense, it was kind of perfect. It did lead me to want to make a whole bunch more. So that's kind of what I've been exploring here lately. And some of the other farm animal series, I've got a little frog. Let me see if I can get it to focus. There he goes. A little frog. I did a goat. And there's something else. I had another frog too, but he's kind of weird. I don't know that I want to show that one yet. But I'm really excited about how cohesive they all look. I sort of accidentally did the same background color for everything. And I don't even really mean to do the initial background color. This one, like, it was just a neutral that I mixed up with a bunch of the colors that I had on my palette that I was loving working with. And this was by no means what I was expecting the background to turn into. I really wanted to just do probably something bright and colorful because I felt like that's what the bird was. I was using a lot of pinks and a lot of bright blues and some purples and things like that in the duck. So I thought, oh, I'll probably just do my usual punchy background because I really like to do saturated color. But it ended up being this very like muddy, neutral kind of warm color. And then As the series progressed, I kind of kept doing the same thing. So it's been a little bit of a repetition that has carried over into the other pieces. And some of the inspiration for this is the animals on my farm. I kind of accidentally started a farm. I didn't start the farm, but my husband keeps coming home with animals. So I keep having animals all over the place and things that I have to take care of. So I'm seeing them every day and I'm interacting with them every day. So they became my muses. So, I mean, the duck is my little white Pekin duck. This would be Daisy. She is one of my favorite animals on the farm. And then we have Miss Sugar Pie. Well, her name is actually Sugar Cookie. And that is our favorite female goat. She's such a sweetheart. The frog was just hanging out on some okra leaves one day, and I took some pictures of that one. And I will be doing, the bunny. I forgot about the bunny. It's so sweet, though. My husband just came home with 5 gray bunnies, black, gray, dark colored bunnies, and they're super adorable. And I was looking for a reference image for different rabbits, but they did not deliver. So I do usually have to take my own reference images for those. But that's where I'm at with the farm animal series. I will be doing probably 3 or 4 more, just to kind of round out the series, and those will be coming with me to the next festival. Speaking of festivals, participating in the wine and art festival that they are hosting every year, and it was such perfect weather and it was such a good time. This was my first time going to a festival by myself, no husband helping me, no kids helping me. It was just me. I set up the tent myself. I got there the day before, got that all taken care of. The wind was crazy, and I was really worried that my tent was going to blow away while I was putting it up. But I managed it, and I was really proud of that. The next day, I spent the morning getting that all ready and did that. I mean, I usually do that by myself anyway, but I was really, really proud of the booth that I put together this time. Part of going to more and more festivals is that every time I do one, I get a little bit better at it. My presentation gets a little bit better and I feel a little bit more confident. And that's what this one was for me. It was just full blown. Like I felt like I knew what I was doing. I knew where my stuff was, how to work it. It wasn't my first time like running my card reader. So it was a huge confidence booster going forward. This was my 3rd festival of the year, and I had a goal of doing 3 to 4, and I will actually be doing 5. So I'm pretty excited to be hitting those goals. The next ones coming up are going to be the Village Arts Festival and the Art Market for Oklahoma Contemporary. And I will link those and put the dates in the caption. But I'm looking forward to doing those because I feel like I've got a really good body of work. Things are coming together and I'm having a lot more fun with it. So that kind of brings me to what am I doing right now that's pushing boundaries and really challenging me as an artist. And that is one, I'm playing with these looser styles that I'm doing with the Farm Animal series. And that has been the most joyful part of my art practice lately. I actually get excited. I came home from the arts festival last weekend, and the very next day, even though I was completely exhausted, I went ahead and painted the goat painting because I was excited to get in there. I knew what I had for my subject, and I knew that I wanted to play with those whites, and I knew that it was going to be fun. And that has been something that has been missing for me sometimes whenever I get too bogged down with the meticulous work. So it's been a little bit of a breather. I'm trying out different color palettes, things that feel a little bit different. I'm loving some of the more earthy things. But the main thing is I'm putting green on everything. Everything. And I know that they say like millennials, they moved from gray to green. And I don't know if I'm just following kind of in that because that's where we're at as a generation. Like millennials just love green. But I do. I can't not like green. I just love it so much. So it shows up in my clothing and it's been showing up on my canvases a lot. But everything feels so cohesive because I'm repeating this a whole bunch. And I I really love it, and I feel like it's totally working for me right now. I'm also trying some experimental stuff. Like I'm working on this crane right now, and it is very much in the underpainting stage. It's not detailed or anything, but it's kind of it's a combination of the looser styles of like leaving brushwork and not being so meticulous. Like it's not perfection. These are just hand painted stripes, but the bird will be more detailed. So it's kind of a bridge between the two styles. And I also really love that it's just completely like out of my wheelhouse. This isn't anything I've played with before or done before. So it's just bringing joy back into the art practice. So I think that's kind of what I'm most excited about and where I'm pushing boundaries. And I'm also pushing boundaries for myself professionally in that I am trying to really move my art career a lot further forward than I have previously. I've had a lot of successes in my art career over the years, but a lot of times I lose momentum and I kind of let the art take a back seat. And this has been a very art focused time where I'm really pushing to keep the momentum going, keep looking for the next opportunities, and keep trying stuff even though it scares me, which is what the festivals do. I am terrified to do the festivals, but once I get there and I get everything set up and I'm like, I know what I'm doing. This is my work and I'm ready to show it to people. It's terrifying, but it's rewarding, and it's going to help me continue to improve as an artist and as a professional. So I'm just super excited about seeing where the rest of this year goes, and I have a ton of plans for next year. Next time, I will probably be discussing a new series that I have coming up. So I hope you will tune in for that. See you soon.